connections between Haiti and the movie Avatar, which
Yes,
I'm going to go deeper
yes,
into. I'm
yes.
going to go into deeper now. And I explained real quickly that a ritual is symbolic acts act out to create a spiritual impact, to create an impact that goes beyond this realm, to then come back to you. The payment of doing the ritual would be to change the reality. So you would do down here, you would act something out in the third dimension with a third dimensional act. So this therefore would make Hollywood the greatest ritual going.
Right.
They'll spend millions of dollars for a movie like Gladiator. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the energy they're putting in rituals. So it's on one level, it's funny when I see these status messages, I'm going to do my rituals. I'm like, yeah, you're going to mix us some herbs and burn some goddamn frankincense.
Right.
What we need to understand is we are the most effective, have the most control, and the most abundance of melanin. We can shut it all down. So no matter how much they spend in Hollywood doing their rituals, we can shut it down if we put our attention there instead of trying to be so deep all the time. Just at least know what our spiritual warfare is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Avatar, like the rest, I was already tired of decoding these movies. And I talked about in my upcoming book how all of these movies are two-layered. One for your conscious mind, one for your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the surface story. And the subconscious mind is how they're talking to a whole different part of you to train it for a reality either to come or to keep a reality that they've already established going. That's where you get the stereotype from. That's why you get the same scenarios with black people doing the same things over and over. They're either trying to maintain something or establish something. Now, I dedicate 3 hard chapters to this in my book, and how they do it, where they do it, what movies they've been doing, cataloged all these movies for the black man and most of the black women in my book. To show you the mind control and show you how they control you. So in Avatar, this was a very big one. James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, the other guy will come to me, the guy who did Frighteners, I can't remember his name. That's one of Steven Spielberg's buddies. And George Lucas. All of these guys are occultists. Now, your thoughts resonate on the second dimension. There's a black guy, I can't remember his name, spiritualist. He isn't conscious in the classic sense, but he has made contact. He's also a psychiatrist. Basically, what he was saying is every thought you could have ever had resonates on the second dimension. So a lot of these ideas can be pulled down from the second dimension. I'll give you a great example. Those characters from Dr. Seuss were pulled down from the second dimension. So you have a whole world of a guy who's actually going into meditation and give you these characters. Same thing with Harry Potter. This black guy said, I've seen all of those people on the second dimension. Harry Potter. Now, if you need another black guy, Credo Mutwa said, with his interview with David Icke, he said that he's seen Darth Maul in the second dimension before the movie came out. R2-D2, C-3PO, he's seen them all. So George Lucas and these guys, they're actually going into the meditative or dream world on the second dimension to create these stories. Star Wars, all of that's channeled shit. So these things resonate on these dimensions. They said a guy in 16012 could have been thinking Harry Potter. This thing resonates, and someone in that whatever that lady's name is, she can pick up on it and give you Harry Potter today. So the second dimension is where a lot of these thought forms come down. Where the wild things are. That's another one from the second dimension. That whole character scheme. So these things resonate and can be pulled down by these guys, these occultists, looking in that dimension, seeing what's happening, then bring this thing to you.
Right.
Now, what they would hope when they bring these thought forms and these situations down, that it talks to a different part of you than your conscious mind. What they do, they gave you the Pocahontas story. That's your conscious mind. Every conscious nigga and half conscious nigga, every awake nigga or a nigga who's just aware is going to see this and get wrapped up in the white boy saves the day. So they're not going to go beyond how this white boy is getting into everlasting life by fucking this black woman and da-da-da-da-da. That's a part of it. But a bigger part of it is to set it up in the subconscious, make it a movie, make it a reality, because remember, the Dogon say, if you pretend, it is just as real as what you call real.
Right,
that's in the
right.
science of the Dogon, I believe. Once you connect with this shit, make Helu, you start to control it with your thoughts. Think it to make it real.
Yes.
And it'll work.
Very profound.
So Iran is the pineal. They live on the mountains. Once they got on them, they highlighted. They wore a headpiece to highlight it. Now the character, the masculine character that was supposed to take over the tribe, that is connected with Wyclef. When they were at these mountains, what he did to greet the girl playing Nefertiti, Zoe, whatever her name is, he greeted her by hitting his middle of his forehead, his pineal, which is telling you we at the pineal, the mountains. What Jake Sully had to do, or Yakub had to do, he had to wrestle on the mountain with the Ekran. Wait a minute, we heard this in the Bible before. This is Jacob wrestling on Mount Pineal. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Real simple shit. Jacob. So remember, in the beginning of the movie, he asked her, "Teach me how to see." Okay, they called the white people the sky people, aliens. So what we're talking about here is loosely based on the falsehood that these white people are the Anunnaki, the aliens, the reptilians, the ones who come from another place, Pleiades, which is lesser known. But when they call them the sky people, that's what they're talking about. All falsehood, trying to give them a divine or a greater origin than them being made in a cave.